Welcome back to another training video by V Studios. Allow me to introduce myself. If you don't know me by now, my name is Patman Senati Raja. I am a V partner and the managing director of V. But ultimately, I'm just a networker. And in this video, I want to share a little bit of my secrets of success. What did I do? What did I apply in building my business the past 8-9 years? Now, you sitting at home right now watching this video, you already must have been either through a few days, a few hours, a few months, or a few years of your life with QuestNet and the V. And I'm sure by now you've gone through enough ups and downs, rejection, disappointment, a lot of joy when you get a check, all right? A lot of joy, more joy when your downline gets a check. And I'm sure there reached many points of your whole journey where you wondered whether you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing, okay? Now, to me, this whole concept of networking is not rocket science. It doesn't take a genius to understand how it works. And to be honest, the QuestNet system is the simplest out there. You won't get anything more simple than this, right? But I've traveled the world. I've spoken to thousands of people around the world, met networkers on the street, sat down in coffee shops, sat down in living rooms and kitchens with people. And they all tell me or ask me, more importantly, the $1 million question. Patman, what do I need to do? All right. What is the secret of success? Okay, Patman. Oh, Patman, what am I doing wrong? Now, the beauty about network marketing is that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. All right. It's already there. Systems are in place. All right. And if you watch my last video, the simple rule of network marketing is shut up, listen, and do. And I'm saying it again with a lot of love. All right, so if you really understand network marketing, there's no need for you to reinvent the wheel. It's already there. Systems like 8 basic building blocks, which I hope you have done. The very aggressive, unbelievable system of Rule 3. Rule 1, Rule 2, Rule 3. You can get it on video or ask your upline. Now, today, I wanted to talk about mindset or benchmark. And before I even go into the module and talk to you, I want to share a little story about an athlete called Roger Bannister. He was a runner and he specialized in the 1 mile run. Back then it was not by meters, it was miles, okay, in the Olympics or whatever sporting game. And Roger Bannister's biggest challenge was that 1 mile was never run under 4 minutes. All right, and doctors and scientists around the world, all right, came up with a conclusive finding that the human body was not capable of running 1 mile under 4 minutes. Okay, all right. And Roger Bannister attempted many times to break what they called the 4-minute barrier. Right, first, second, third, many attempts, and the whole world told Roger Bannister it's never been done. It's impossible. It's abnormal. It's not humanly possible, the negativity out there. And finally, all right, one day, Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute barrier. Never done by any human ever in the history of mankind. And he did it. He ran 1 mile under 4 minutes. Now, the funniest thing about what happened, the next month after Roger Bannister achieved it, all right, over 20 people around the world achieved running 1 mile under 4 minutes. Now you're sitting there saying, oh, placebo or whatever. Simple fact, Roger Bannister created a benchmark. He created a benchmark proving that a human being can run 1 mile under 4 minutes. And that created a belief out there in many runners, hey, he's done it, I can do it too. Now, this philosophy of benchmarking is how the human mind works. It applies to your personal life. It applies to everything you have ever attempted to do. Think about your childhood. When you were younger, all right, if you were supposed to dive into a swimming pool or jump across a ditch or ride a bicycle, all right, you always looked at it as an impossibility. As a little kid, you see somebody riding a bicycle, you say, oh my God, how on earth did he do it? You cannot imagine staying balanced on 2 wheels. When I was a kid, I couldn't believe it. But then I saw my brother do it. Right? And you know your brother. I lived with him for so many years. I grew up with him. And I said, hey, if he can do it, I can do it. Right? So what happened in my mind, that benchmark became achievable. Now we live in today's world with trying to keep up with benchmarks all around us. Right? How to be a better son, better husband, and most importantly in our business, how to be a better networker, how to be a more successful networker. Let me tell you a story. Back then, when we started networking, checks of 5,000 US dollars, all right, was almost impossible to achieve. 2,000 US dollars was such a great achievement because not many people have done it. But as more and more people in QuestNet achieve 1,000, 2,000 US a week, everyone started to believe it's possible, it's normal, it's doable. If you really start to understand what it takes to make it in this business, is to understand the philosophy of a benchmark. Alright? And today's module is called Act 48. And this video, most probably, if you look at the label sitting in front of you, it's called Act 48. Now, Act 48 is an abbreviation for activation in 48 hours. Now, if you are new, you may be thinking, okay, activation, new word, never heard about it. Alright, now let me explain it to you. Activation is basically when you refer the first person on your left and the first person on your right. Alright, with your tracking center. When you refer the first person on your left and the first person right, you are considered activated. That's called activation. Now, there are a lot of theories in activation. But my biggest question to you right now, sitting there, is how long does it take to activate your tracking center? How long does it take to get one on the left, one on the right? Now, I've traveled the world and I got answers which would shock even you. Some people say 1 week. Now, even you sitting back there thinking 1 week, doable. One on the left, one on the right. Okay, doable. Now, some people say 1 month. Alright? And I'm sure there's some morons out there saying it takes 6 months to activate and it's okay. Now, I want to set a benchmark in your mind. When I got into network marketing, I had no benchmark. I didn't know what was possible or not possible. I asked my upline, my mentor, Dato Vijay, alright, what do I do? He said, work as hard as you have ever worked before. Alright, or work harder than you have ever worked before. And I woke up every morning, went out there, showed as many plans as I could, alright, to sign up as many people as I can. Okay, and I brought in 20 over people into my network in 48 hours. 20 over people, directs. I spoke to anyone and everyone. Okay, now if you are sitting there and looking, I bet you, when you heard my statement that I got 20 over people in 48 hours, your reaction was, wow, unbelievable. Now, I thought it was normal. I didn't know it was unbelievable. Alright, I signed up 20 over people. I was a little bit, tired of working and talking to so many people. But I didn't know whether it was good. I didn't know whether it was bad. I just did it. Okay, until I met some other networkers from around the world. And I told them about my achievement of bringing in 20 over people in 48 hours. And everyone looked at me and said, Patman, unbelievable. Nobody has ever done this before. I was shocked. And then I started to slow down. I didn't bring in another 20 over people the next 48 hours because you think it's such a great achievement. Why should I be a great achiever? Why don't I remain as a mediocre achiever? Now I want to change the way you think. Bottom line, I believe strongly that activation, one on the left, one on the right, should be done in 48 hours. 48 hours. Alright? Now, don't sit there and look at me and say, oh my God, that's impossible, that's difficult. How am I going to get 2 signups? How am I going to get 2 people to buy a BioDisc or buy a CMA watch in 48 hours? It's almost impossible. No, it's not. It's impossible because maybe you did not hear about everyone doing it. Maybe your upline never did it. But you are now going to set a benchmark for your downlines to follow. So if you are my downline sitting at home and I come to you and say, listen, you're brand new in networking. You don't know anything about it. You're sitting down with me for the first time after signing up. And I tell you, listen, you got to sign up 2 people in 48 hours. That's the norm. Everyone does it. It's normal. All right. If you take 72 hours, you're considered slow. If you take 1 week, you're an absolute failure. My mother did 2 sign-ups in 48 hours. My grandmother did 2 sign-ups in 48 hours. My neighbor did 2 sign-ups in 48 hours. My barber did 2 sign-ups in 48 hours. Alright, my mother-in-law activated in 48 hours. Everyone I know, everyone I signed up activated in 48 hours. If you keep hearing this every single day, if you meet everyone in my group, the people you interact with, and everyone says, I did it in 48 hours. Activation, 48 hours. How long? Oh, less than 48 hours. How long about you? 48 hours, 48 hours, 48 hours, 48 hours activation. Now, if you listen to this long enough and you're exposed to everyone around you in your organization who have achieved activation in 48 hours, what happens to you? It suddenly looks normal, correct? Alright, it's like Roger Bannister ran 1 mile under 4 minutes. That means I can do it if I am also a runner. Alright, now you're a networker. I did more than activation in 48 hours. I got 20 over people. And all I'm asking you to achieve is find 2 people, one on the left, one on the right, in 48 hours. Now you're sitting there right now saying, easy for you to say, Patman. You're already financially free, sitting down here enjoying life. But I just got started. I don't know anything. Now, true and not true. Agreed. If you just got started and you're seeing this video for the first time, you're going to be a bit shocked thinking, how do I do activation in 48 hours? Now, if you watch the Rule 3 video, which I hope you have, if you haven't, find it, watch it. Alright? I tell them that you have to have a name list of 150 names minimum. If you are watching this video and you haven't got 150 names, please press pause, go to your dining table, write down 150 names, come back and watch this, okay? So rule number 1 in Rule 3, the 3 rules, is to have 150 names on your list. And I told you, or I told in that video, for you to divide your list into hot, warm, cold. Now let me focus on just the hot category. The hot category are people closest to you. Brother, sister, mother, mother-in-law, depends whether you get along with her. Alright, best buddy, neighbor, childhood friend, wife, fiance, whatever. Okay, people who are extremely close to you, you have a high level of trespass with. Alright, that means you can speak to them very direct. Now, if you have at least 6 people on your hot category, I had maybe 10, 15. Most people have about 10. Alright, immediate family, best friends. So you got 6 people on that list. Okay, alright. Now, ultimately, first thing you're asking is, what do I do with the 6 people? Go to them, alright, show the fastest plan you can show. 2 minutes. Fantastic business opportunity, blah, 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 blah. Buy this product, support me. I need your help. I'm just getting started in business. Hot market, your own brother, your own mom. Okay? Now, if you got 6 people, at least 2 will say, okay, done, here's the money, I'm joining. Alright? And if you meet 2 or 3 of the 6 people in 48 hours, you activated in 48 hours. Now, the mistake a lot of people make, or why they take too long to activate. Firstly, they are too afraid, or they have fear to approach the hot market. I'm scared to talk to my mother. I'm scared to talk to my brother because I don't want to be rejected by the people closest to you, correct? Or to me. Right? Being rejected by a stranger is easier than being rejected by your brother. I believe so. Alright? So what you have to do is basically, don't exactly go to your brother like a prospect. I never went to my first 20 people like prospects. I went to them as a businessman in QuestNet who needed their support to help me get started in QuestNet. I went to my brother and said, listen, shut up, sign up, or I'll beat you up. Seriously, I did that. Okay? I need your help. Buy a product, be happy. Alright? You want to make money? Come and talk to me tomorrow. I'll show you how the plan works. I went to my mom. I said, Mom, help me out. Buy a watch, buy whatever. Okay, I went to my auntie, buy a coin. Go to somebody, ask them to buy an amazing biodisc. Okay? Whatever it is. Bottom line is, your hot market should sign up immediately. Okay? Now, if everyone just understands that philosophy, that if you approach your hot market first, warm second, cold last. Alright? If you approach your hot market first, you are definitely to get activated in 48 hours. Alright? Now, somebody asked me this question, but Mr. Patman, in the first 48 hours, alright, I don't even know how to show the plan. Hello, wake up, smell the coffee. You don't have to show the plan to perfection. Remember, you're just getting them to support you. You're getting them to help. You may show the plan to them after 1 week. I showed the plan to my brother much later after he signed up. But I needed him to sign up. Now, why is activation in 48 hours so important? Why? Because if I achieved it, when I got activation in 48 hours, all right, all my sign-ups looked at me as upline. They look at you as the upline and say, what did he do? I want to do the same. So he got activation in 48 hours, done. I'm going to do activation in 48 hours. Do you understand? Now you do activation in 48 hours. The guy you sign up is going to do activation in 48 hours. So ultimately what happens, if you're smart, okay, everyone in your organization starts to do activation in 48 hours. You start hitting an amazing income faster than you ever dreamed of. All right, you will achieve financial freedom in less than 2 years if you just set a benchmark for your network to follow. All right, now everything you do, okay, the philosophy of networking is monkey see, monkey do. So I'm telling you right now, all right, I'm a monkey, you're a monkey, okay, what I do, you see and you do. Are you guys with me? Simple philosophy of networking. So if I do activation in 48 hours, you see it, you do it, and the same applies to everyone in your group. Duplication to perfection. Okay, now benchmarking is so important in networking. Everything requires benchmarking. Okay, if you call me and I don't answer my phone and you ask me where I am, finally when I answer, I say I'm at home watching TV, 8 p.m. Right? In most countries, 8 to 10 is what I call peak networking time. Okay, so at 8 o'clock you call me and I said, oh, I'm staying at home chilling, watching TV, relaxing. What happens? You do the same thing. Right? You stay at home and watch TV at 8 o'clock. What happens to your downline? They do. Now you pick up the phone and you call me and said, okay, hi, excited, I'm showing a plan. You call me after half an hour, I'm showing another plan. You call me, I'm doing basic training. You call me, I'm out here in somebody's house doing a bio BPO or a biodisc demo. Alright, so you call me every single time you catch me doing something exciting about QuestNet. What are you going to do? You're going to duplicate. Monkey see, monkey do. So Act 48, activation in 48 hours, is not something short term. It's not something for you to say, okay, I can do it. The effect of activation in 48 hours, if it's a benchmark and everyone follows, is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Alright, because eventually you need to set a system in place. Now, rule 3. How can you ask somebody to do rule 3 if you haven't done it? Simple philosophy, same like Act 48. Alright, so I always tell people, before I tell everyone to do rule 3, I have to do rule 3. My question to you, are you doing rule 3? Because monkey see, monkey do. So philosophy is like rule 3. Alright, concepts like Act 48. Okay, all of this is something you set a benchmark. Others in your organization follow. As simple as that. Okay, now think about this. How you lead your life as a networker. Okay, a lot of people ask me this question and sometimes it's a bit difficult to answer. Because right now you are a networker. You are a businessman, businesswoman, entrepreneur. Okay, and what you are doing, you're not doing a traditional business. You're not selling stuff over a counter. You don't own a shop. You are basically in the people business. And the people business requires the philosophy of influence, the power of influence. How can you influence your people to act in a way you want them to act? Now, in traditional concepts, I believe as a boss to an employee, you can demand your employee to act in a